Welcome back. Today we're talking about a 17-year-old forward called Billy O'Neill from Crumlin in Dublin. Born the 12th of March 2008, he previously played with Crumlin Utd and then moved to Kilnamanagh AFC, both of which are very talented youth sides in Dublin, in Ireland. Examples of players that have been through the doors at both these clubs and excelled in their careers are current and former players. Current Millwall player Idamowi Maku. He's only 21, already a main fixture in the Millwall side, loved by fans. Current again player Katie McCabe, who's obviously Irish captain at international level, and Robbie Keane, former player, current manager. Billy himself excelled and impressed the masses in the footballing world, both within these clubs and outside, and he would have had various suitors, options, routes open to him thereafter. In 2022, he and his team chose Bray Wanderers as his next destination and step up as a still only 14-year-old. Bray are, of course, an established League of Ireland club, and the move was a very smart one, which it was envisaged could perhaps move him up the footballing ladder quicker and getting him further ahead in his career, hone his ever-developing craft and fast-tracking him to pro first-team football. Bray are currently a second-tier side, with youth being at the fore, front and centre of their first team, so it shows the smarts by him and his team to choose a route that will get him to the end goal of the elusive first-team football, even at such an early stage in his development and age profile. The move paid off and he made his professional debut with Bray at only 15 on the 23rd of October 2023, which also made him the youngest ever first team player in the club's history. In total to date, he has played 23 times for them with 3 goals. This season he's been a mainstay starter first teamer for Bray, who are currently one of the front runners pushing for promotion to the top tier of Irish football, to which of course he has been vital thus far by all accounts. Also, to anyone outside of Ireland, we are a summer, the league is calendar year, so the 25 season, halfway through it at the moment. Internationally, he's represented Ireland extensively at underage level, which is even more impressive as it's probably the most talented time to be involved in the Irish underage setup across the board in all the age groups, you'd have to say. He has to date represented Ireland at under 15s, 16s, and currently he's with the under 17s, who he has helped qualify for the upcoming under 17s World Cup in Qatar in November of this year. As a result of all his achievements and the exposure on the pitch at club and international level, interest in him is understandably exceptionally high and will only increase as the season goes on at club and international level. It's not a matter of if he's going to move abroad, but when and where. There has been a lot of interest in him from a whole host of top sides in Europe, whether that be the normal UK route with Premiership and Championship sides, one of which Brentford B has already officially had him training with them. Italy with Juventus and Lecce mentioned, France with Monaco, Germany with Bayer Leverkusen, or Holland with Heerenveen. But that list is, of course, who we know about. And you can be sure that the fact they're all interested guarantees there's a whole host of other clubs who have reached out to his team in private and others waiting in the wings to move as well. And, so a lot of interest in vying for his signature when the time comes, if a deal, of course, hasn't already been done and dusted behind the scenes. Obviously, he can't move to the UK before he's 18, but that's not a million miles away. He's 18 in March of next year, so really just a few months away. A time frame that probably works best for him, to be honest, as the Irish season ends in November. Then he's off to the Under-17s World Cup. His contract's up with Bray too, it would appear. So there's no real roadblocks that end of things for him. His football will be all wrapped up. He'll have a few months off, and then January time he and his team can sit down, and again, if a deal isn't already more or less done, him and his team can sit down and sift through all the options open to him and what works best for him and his career. And of course, he's already in first team football in the second tier in Ireland. If he's to go to a big league, he probably will have to go back to an academy, but he's not going to want to go back to an academy long term. He's going to want to go back to going to want to go to a top academy and then fairly quickly move through the gears and, you know, be pushing for first team contention or first team squad contention even. As I said, his options are great. Juventus, a great academy and a historical side, where he would have, of course, however, a long road to the first team, you'd imagine. Lecce, they've had Irish players there in Ed McJohnett, who made the bench this season on numerous occasions before going out on loan. They also had Darren Adewale, who's now back at Shells. Germany, of course, Bayer Leverkusen are interesting. German league system is historically a good place for young players to break into first team football and excel. With no doubt that'll be the case in the future, near future, for a lot of Irish young players who are over there at the moment. Heerenveen, on a money side, you'd imagine that's lower down between the competition, but again, Dutch football is a great place for a striker forward to be and hopefully rack up the stats and the goals if you're getting the full 90-minute game time. So in his position, maybe that's a good option, but again, possibly down the financial packages that he's gonna have on his table, which out of all the options, England's probably going to have the best financial packages. Monaco too, of course, what a place to be, like a lot of the other options he's going to have, and he has. And they have developed some greats in their academy that have also gone on to play for their first team, most notably Mbappe. The only immediate problem for the player in his team now is if they haven't already made their choice as to where the next step in his career is going to be. He probably has too many options, and that's not a bad place to be at this stage. And that, of course, again, if a decision hasn't already been made, there's only going to be more options as the rest of the season continues, and the under-17s World Cup, where all top scouts in world football but European football are going to be there too. So it's only going to increase interest in him and options out there for him. So probably best if he hasn't made a decision yet, but again, that's a distinct possibility. Of course, he might move in the summer. If so, that's going to be to a European side, but again, he has a smart team and family behind him and himself, so he's probably, you'd imagine, they're not hanging their hat on one particular option as of yet, and if that is the case, they're going to hang on till after the November time. Again, that's a perfect scenario for them. Make their final decision in late December, early January. That would be the best course of action for him. Obviously, from our pod point of view, we'd love to see him go to a big side in Europe. Where he goes is the $1 million question to those outside his immediate circle. Though, if you put a gun to my head, I'd say he's probably going to go to a championship side with a clear route to first team football in the not too distant future. But he's a player that has the footballing world at his feet, and ultimately he and his family and team know best and will do what's best for him and his career. If you liked the video, send us a like, subscribe, or leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Or buy us a coffee at the link in the description. And as always, we'll be watching.